Hey everyone, this is Craig Harris of IGN's Nintendo DS channel, taking a break from deathmatching to bring you the final word on Metroid-Prime-Hunters for the Nintendo DS. If you managed to snag a Nintendo DS system on day one, you were one of the lucky million to get a taste test of the final game. The first hunt trial packed in with the early systems was only a small portion of what Metroid-Prime-Hunters finally ended up becoming on the official release. The game's developer, NST, has been known for being a porting house, or a studio that simply extends their brands with new games. For example, the team's 1080 Snowboarding Avalanche and Wave Race Blue Storm were continuations of Nintendo 64 games, and their first Nintendo DS game was Ridge Racer DS, just an enhanced conversion of their N64 Ridge Racer game. Metroid Prime Hunters continues the team's legacy of riding on the backs of giants, since the game takes the Retro Studios GameCube franchise and builds upon it in an original portable product. But Metroid Prime Hunters could be the team's most ambitious product yet, and they've really pulled off something incredibly special in Nintendo DS. Metroid Prime Hunters is the first-person shooter on the Nintendo DS to really get it right. Others have tried and failed, but NST really nailed the look, feel, and play of a first-person shooter for the handheld, putting it on a level of a PC design thanks to the Nintendo DS system's touchscreen control. With the touch panel, players have tight precision movements that mimic the mouse-keyboard control of a PC shooter. The downside of it all is there's a tremendous learning curve to get the feel down, and even though you have several different control options to choose from, none of them will feel intuitive, and each one will take a lot of practice before you can get good at it. And if you think handheld gaming can give you hand cramps, a Night of Metroid Prime Hunters may give you early arthritis. Personally, I found the thumb strap on the left hand and using the A, B, X, Y buttons for moving and strafing feels the most natural, but your mileage may vary. The real benefit of the DS game is that the designers can make a first-person shooter with very few compromises. The graphics aren't going to quite reach the level of current generation consoles, but even so, Metroid Prime Hunters is absolutely beautiful, both on an artistic and technical level. The game moves fast and smooth, and environments are incredibly detailed with tons of special effects going on. There are the occasional bouts of slowdown when the rooms get a little congested, but nothing terrible or anything that hurts the experience. The game definitely looks like a Metroid Prime game, but it feels different because of the new precise control. You can now look freely around the room and pinpoint specific spots for shooting and scanning, something that was a little harder to do on the GameCube versions. The single-player adventure on the DS is very similar in design to the GameCube game, lots of platform jumping and puzzle solving. In the DS game, though, Samus is fully powered up, so solutions to puzzles aren't revolved around new character abilities. Instead, players open up new areas by finding new weapons that can open sealed doors. And since many early levels will have blocked passages, you'll have to return to previous worlds several times in order to beat them. And because this is a Metroid game, there are plenty of areas that you'll have to roll up into a morph ball and zoom around the environments to reach other parts of the map. I'm actually very surprised at how deep and fun the single-player adventure is, as it will take more than a dozen hours to get through to the end, but that's really only half the game. The rest of the experience comes in the form of deathmatch competitions for as many as 4 players. The game supports local wireless play, but where the game really shines is in the support for Nintendo's Wi-Fi connection service. If you get into a wireless internet hotspot, you'll be able to compete against players all over the world. And Metroid Prime Hunters designers really know how to make first-person shooters. This game's got a ton of competitive options, like standard deathmatch, King of the Hill, and Capture the Flag. But my personal favorite is the Prime Hunter mode. In Prime Hunter mode, the person with the first kill becomes what's known as the Prime Hunter. The idea is to stay the Prime Hunter for as long as you can, but your health is constantly depleting and it can only be recharged if you actually kill other player. If someone kills you, though, that player becomes the Prime Hunter. There's a lot of variety in the multiplayer because there are several different bounty hunters to choose from, and they all have their standard forms and their alternate roll-around mode like Samus does with her morph ball. Each player has its own pros and cons, of course, and the only way to learn them is to play as them and find the character best suited for your own style. I'll freely admit that I suck at first-person shooters, and it turns out I really suck at Deathmatch Metroid Prime Hunters, so at least I'm consistent. Nintendo's Wi-Fi service has been pretty basic as of late, and while Metroid Prime Hunters is still limited to having friends code to play with people you know, the designers really push a lot of online features to make the internet experience as deep as possible. There's a ton of stat tracking going on, and as long as you have a friends code, you'll be able to talk with that person through the DS microphone like a walkie-talkie. It's the first DS game to support voice chat, and hopefully that's not the last. I'm definitely surprised at how well Metroid Prime Hunters came out on the DS and how fun it really is. The game does have a sharp learning curve, and it lacks the pick-up-and-play style for the casual gamer, but don't let that intimidate you because this is one of the deepest and easily one of the most impressive DS games out there. I go by Cranky IGN on the servers, so I'll see you online as cannon fodder.